So now let's look at the backhand. Now you saw many different kinds of backhand drives. You saw slices. You saw topspin backhands. You saw two-handed backhands. You saw basically a flat backhand. And of course you saw an ethnic backhand. All right, just excluding the ethnic backhand. All good backhands have a common thread, though they may look very different. And the common thread is stability. Stability in the grip at the point of contact. You cannot play a backhand with a weak grip. If I try to play a backhand drive with a forehand grip, it just won't work. You can see there's just no strength there. I have to change my grip on the backhand side. From a forehand grip, there's this lump here. Give my hand a quarter turn. And now I have some strength behind the racket. The thenar, this fleshy part here, put this behind the grip and that will make it a lot more stable. So this is the key. Get a good backhand grip and you can play the stroke. People use two-handed backhands. They just add the free hand and that will give some stability to the stroke too. But without a backhand grip, you cannot play. So once you have the backhand grip, now you can think of the similarities between the forehand and the backhand. Turn. You've got to get ready. When the ball comes, you are ready for the ball. Once you are ready, you have to adjust your feet. You find the ball, the point of contact, and then you follow through. Backhand grip, turn, adjust your feet, balance, point of contact, and follow through. And that's what the backhand looks like. You can see it's very similar to the forehand. There are a few differences. The first difference is this. The point of contact on the backhand is further out in front than on a forehand. This is where you would meet the ball on a backhand. On a forehand, it's a bit further back. Point of contact on the forehand, point of contact on the backhand. With this in mind, you have to be able to play the ball a little bit earlier than you would when you normally would be playing a forehand drive. The other difference is this. It's in the hips. Now watch my hips when I play a backhand drive. You notice there's not much of a hip turn. Most of the power comes from my shoulder. On a forehand drive, you would see a lot of hip movement. My hips rotate around and almost face the net. On the backhand side, this shouldn't happen. If my hips came through, it would be a bad mistake. That would be an incorrect backhand. Preferably, don't twist the hips. Set yourself, play from the shoulder, and maybe use the hips as much as a quarter turn. No more than that. The biggest difference is on a two-handed backhand. On a two-handed backhand, here you have some different choices. You could either play a two-handed backhand basically as if you were playing with one hand and the left hand coming along for the ride. Now have a look and see what this would look like. The free hand is coming along for the ride. Or you could play a two-handed backhand where you are using the emphasis of the power with the left hand. And the right hand is coming along for the ride. Now it becomes basically a left-handed forehand. Now the third kind of a two-handed backhand is one where what you do is this. You kind of squish back, press back against your left hand, and then it's like a snapping motion. It looks like this. You squish back and you snap. Now it's a very fast accelerator. And there's a lot of disguise there because you cannot really tell where the opponent's going to hit the ball. So some two-handed players are quite effective with that stroke, except they have a very limited reach there. Now, the two-handed backhand has become rather popular in recent times. And you decide for yourself, experiment whether you want to play with one hand or with two hands. As a coach, we still prefer to teach one-handed backhands. That would be my first choice. But irrespective whether you play with one hand or two hands, as long as the common thread is there, stability, a quick shoulder turn, fast feet, point of contact, and a follow-through. That will ensure good backhand for you. For a two-handed backhand, the technique is quite different. Watch how the player has to open the hips to effectively stroke the ball. Here are some suggestions on how to improve your backhand. Of all the corrections of the backhand, here is the one that is most important, the backhand grip. Remember, if you don't have a backhand grip, you cannot play backhands. How are you going to remember to change your grip? What is the clue you're going to have? Now, I've a suggestion how you learn it. You make a lump like this, and you turn your hand until the lump goes away. Now, you've heard me often in previous shows talk about this, and if you've mastered it, then you're ahead of the game. But those of you who still have troubles with a backhand grip, let's think of some new ways to get you to understand the grip. Maybe some of you remember your days, you know, when you enjoyed those swashbuckling movies of Errol Flynn, or if you had a samurai. Japanese have no troubles with backhand grips because they are samurais, you see. If you just reach over as if you want to get a sword out of its scabbard, that will immediately give you the backhand grip. Another way to get the backhand grip, those of you who like the military. This is your swagger stick, you see. And I just reach over and you get your swagger stick. And that would be a good way to get a backhand grip. Those of you who are very, very religious, this is the way to learn the backhand when you have a religious backhand. You see, no, and it fits all religions. For Catholics, this is the Vatican, and these are the steps that lead to the Vatican. If you are a Protestant, this is Martin Luther. These are the steps that lead to Martin Luther. If you're Mohammedan, this is Muhammad. Steps that lead to Muhammad. Hindu, no matter what, every religion fits into the backhand. Atheists, they don't make it to heaven, and they don't have backhands either. All right, so there's one other kind of a backhand. Those of you who, all right, I'm going to show you the sexy backhand. How to learn the backhand in a sexy way. Pat, come, you will be an ideal model for the sexy backhand. Pat, do you know what a French kiss is? No, look, hold the racket, at least hold your hand and shake hands with me. This is the way we shake hands in America. Now, if you were to visit Paris, in France, do you know how the Frenchman would shake your hand? This is how a Frenchman does it. The Frenchman says, "Enchanté, mademoiselle." And they kiss your hand. Don't move the hand, lady. Don't move the hand. And they put the racket right in your hand. Every Frenchman is a tennis pro at heart. And these are all the thoughts I have for you, how to remember the backhand grip. You choose the one that suits you best. But if you don't have a backhand grip, you will suffer all your life with an unpredictable, unreliable stroke. Now, I've shown you all the tricks of how to improve your backhand. If you follow these suggestions, you lose all the fear of playing the stroke.